Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a monk barbarian build guide for in Baldur's Gate 3. So, we can rage as a barbarian and get some of those benefits as a monk. Now I think it's actually best for us to start as a monk because they have the true power, and adding in the barbarian gives us a lot of nice things, but I do think that the monk is the stronger of the two and we can take advantage of this. So I would start with the monk itself, but don't be afraid to start with barbarian if you prefer that route. Now we get the nice flurry of blows bonus action using a chi point there, and that gives us a nice, you'll see the damage output is pretty crazy. So this does compete for our bonus action use because rage will also be a bonus action as well as the enraged throw. But I got some cool synergies that these actually have, and I don't see a lot of people at all talking about this. As for our ability scores, our main ones are going to be wisdom, dexterity, and constitution. Strength is moderately important as well, and charisma too. We can actually go with something like this. Wisdom, ideally we could get our wisdom up to 16 because we actually use wisdom as our, it'll give us the armor class. Alternatively, you can actually go with lower wisdom, and the unarmored defense from the barbarian is going to be even better because we can get it from constitution. And on top of that, our constitution can actually go up to 23 with an amulet, which makes this perfect. So something like this works well. We're going to have a decent amount of wisdom, decent constitution. Dexterity, you can even take it down and put the rest of the points into something like intelligence, even if you wanted to have it all flat out. So something like that could work, or we could put those 2 points elsewhere. But yeah, we'll go like that to keep things nice and even. And as for our skill proficiencies, acrobatics is nice, but even athletics works well. But you want to have one of these two higher, so we'll go with the acrobatics, and then maybe insight there. So yeah. And I'll be going through the gear at the end of this video, so you can stay tuned for that. But I'll be going into this with the monk all the way through, and then we'll switch it into the barbarian. So we get our nice patient defense, step of the wind dash, and disengage. What's nice about this is it actually makes jump not require bonus action, so we can jump a bunch, which is actually kind of nice, as there's some items that we can actually get damage on our jumps. Now, as for the subclass, I think that it works best to actually go with the way of the open hand. This is going to be our highest defense or highest damage class. Although, the Disciple of Elements, we can actually use these while raging, because they don't count as spells, they count as actions. So it actually allows us to use these while we're in rage. It's the only way you can actually do a spell in rage. But I'm going to keep it simple, go with the way of the open hand, because the damage output on this is incredible. So the flurry of blows, topple, stagger, and push gives us a pushing attack, the ability to stagger, and also to knock a prone. The prone's the one that I use the most, and it's just extremely useful. We also get our deflect missile, so we can lower our damage that we take. The monk is very underrated. It also has slow fall, resistance to fall damage. As for our feat, we actually can go two different ways with this. There's a lot of people that take the Tavern Brawler because we can actually get ourselves the strength modifier added twice to damage and attack rolls with an unarmed strike, improvised weapon, or throw something. The Barbarian does improvised weapons and throws something, and the monk actually does the unarmed attack. So this is perfect for us. Alternatively, you can go with an ability score improvement, but I think that the damage that we get is much better here. You can also go with, like, if you had 15 constitution, this will take it up to 16, so that's a nice way to go about it there. I'm wearing the constitution amulet, so I could have dumped constitution, but I didn't want to. I wanted to show you guys what we'd regularly do in a build, but take your constitution 15 if you're going to go that route. We get our extra attack at level 5, nice spike here. And we can also do a stunning strike, so this can possibly stun the target. And this is really nice because this gives us 2 free stuns for turn, which is pretty good crowd control. So we also get at level 6 the ability to have the manifestation of body, mind, and spirit or soul there with additional radiant, necrotic, or psychic damage. Psychic being the best of the 3. And we also get a wholeness of body, which will regain half our key points and give us the extra bonus action that we really need in this build. So that is really nice as well. And then at next level, we get the ability to cast it if we're frightened with stillness of mind. So if we get charmed or frightened, we can remove that and get our extra bonus action. And we also get evasion, so this gives us a lot more survivability. The rogue and the monk get this, so whenever a spell or an effect would deal half damage on a successful dexterity saving throw, it deals no damage if you succeed and half if you fail. So straight up just taking way less damage from spells. That's really nice. And we get another key point, so that's great. Now it's just for saving throws, so if there's attack rolls, they'll still hit you pretty hard. As for our next, I would say an ability improvement, dexterity is great, or wisdom, but dexterity will give us initiative and armor class, so we want to go with that. Plus, if we're wearing the constitution amulet, we're going to get our armor class from constitution itself. Now at level 9, we get Advanced unarmed movement, difficult terrain doesn't slow you down. You can jump an additional 6 meters. We're not going to wear armor, so that's good. This is why I wanted to take it up to level 9, because we get our only area of effect damage here with the key resonation punch. So this is an action or a bonus action that we can punch a target and make the key resonate with ours. And then as a free action, just use it a key point, so no action or bonus action required, we can make it explode. So 3d6 force damage, and it can hit targets within 5 meters, which is actually a really large area of effect. So that's the only area of effect damage that we can get, but it is quite strong. So yeah, that is really good. But we're going to add in the Barbarian once we get to level 9 Monk. And this gives us our Rage. Deal extra 2 damage with melee and improvised weapons and throwing. Doesn't actually give us plus 2 damage to our unarmed attacks. Womp womp. But it's still pretty good, because I will show you. We also get our unarmed defense, which gives us the ability to add our constitution to the modifiers, which is really nice. So we'll get a higher armor class from constitution. Danger sense advantage on dexterity saving throws against trap spells and services. So we got a higher chance of surviving the dexterity saving throws, which is nice because fireball, for example, is a dexterity saving throw. So we're going to take half damage, but we have advantage, so we'll probably take a lot less damage. Awesome. And we get reckless attack. This build becomes really tanky at max level because we're going to take the Wild Heart Barbarian. This gives us free speak with animals, but Bear Heart. While raging, you can use Unrelented Furiosity. That's great, it's healing, but you have resistance to all damage except psychic. So we get nice damage resistance across the board. We normally get the physical damage resistance, but we, on top of that, will now get anything but psychic damage resistance, which is massive. And then you can put on the piercings if you want, but we'll keep the Tav piercing free. That is really good because we have a lot of defense now, but we're also a heavy hitter. So yeah, I'll be going over to gear now. So our armor class is 23, which gives us the +6 from the Constitution amulet there from the Barbarian. So it actually will take whatever's higher between the Monk or the Barbarian. So we got that +6 there. Alternatively, you can add in a weapon. This gives us a nice 26 armor class. And something like Nirolna you can throw and it'll return to your hand. So that can actually be pretty decent and it'll light up the area, which is always good. I like the Scrabby Pugilist Circlet. It gives us weapon and unarmed attacks deal an additional 2 damage when surrounded by 2 or more foes. Deathstalker Mantle, huge here. If you're not the Dark Urge, go with the Cloak of Protection, but the Deathstalker Mantle will turn you invisible for 2 turns on a kill. Really useful. But even so, our Cloak of Protection gives us 27 armor class, which is awesome. Boots of Uninhibited Kashigo will give us additional damage equal to our Wisdom modifier with unarmed strikes. So we can go with that. Alternatively, if you really want to stack up your armor class, you can go with the... I don't see them here, but I do have boots that give +1 armor class. And on top of that, there's also boots that can give you +1 armor class while, and they give you enhanced leap. So that's a really good choice as well. Ring of Protection and Killer Sweetheart for the attack next crack roll will be critical. Having critical hits is super important. And alternatively, you can use something like the Fire Swords. That's pretty powerful. If we look at our attacks, it's 13 to 38 damage. And if we unequipped everything, we got our fist doing 26 to 36 damage. So honestly, quite strong with the Flame Blades. I really like them. They're a good weapon. And then we can also have a really nice armor class if you want to go this route. And then you can just use your Flurry of Blows topple whenever you're, you know, as a bonus action. Upwards of 72 damage. So the damage is pretty good. With the Boots Uninhibited Kashigo, we get a nice amount of damage. Plus 18 bludgeoning. So that +18 comes from our strength here, so the +8 doubled from Tavern Brawler, and the +2 from our wisdom. So if you can get your wisdom up higher, it'll actually give us more punching power. That +18 comes from that 16, and then the +2 from wisdom, so pretty good. It hits really hard. I'm also using the Gloves of Soul Rejuvenate, Soul Catching, so this gives us 1 to 10 force damage, and once per turn on an unarmed hit, we can regain 10 health points. We have 141, so we have a lot of health, and we have a lot of resistances, so this is very tanky. And then we can also give up the health and get advantage on attack rolls and saving throws, which is nice if you have full health. Saving throws, we're not getting hit by a spell. And this gives us a +2 constitution, which is kind of overrode by that, but these are great regardless. And the Vest of Soul Rejuvenation, whenever you succeed a saving throw, which is going to be very often, we regain 1 to 4 health, and we can make a reaction to do an unarmed strike against attacker, +2 armor class, so that is really nice. It comes together to be very powerful. Typically, we want to get into our Bear Heart Rage whenever we possibly can, because this will give us resistance to all damage types. So if there's people using Radiant, we take half damage. If there's people using anything but Psychic, we take half, which is huge. And then we can do a 7 to 14 healing, which not super awesome, but it gives you something to heal with after combat. Reckless attack. We deal fire damage with the flame blades, but again, Nyrulna is another great option because the Nyrulna can actually be thrown and return to your hand, so you'll always have that light. And the Nyrulna will do thunder damage in an area of effect whenever you throw it, so that gives us another area of effect. And we get a +3 movement speed, so that's huge too. So actually a really good build overall because we got benefits to throwing damage. We also get benefits to let's see, I don't know if this will trigger the explosion, but see, it comes right back to us. We don't need the Eldritch Knight ability to be able to get that back. And then we can also do, which is really powerful, we can go in with a key resonation here, so we can do the key resonation punch. And then whenever Mizora appears again, we can do the key resonation blast. So the blast itself is really powerful, detonates the key resonating with us. This doesn't require an action, let me remind you, and it deals 3d6 of force damage. So you can see there, that's a pretty big area of effect. It's going to hit hard there. Boom. It would hit all those characters for not even taking an action or a bonus action. This build is very powerful. Now there's more synergetic builds. Like I think that 3 levels of the Rogue Thief does work better. I just want to say that there because someone will be in the comments saying that this sucks and you should have done 3 levels of Thief. But someone requested this video and I want to show that it is possible. And the Bear Heart gives us big damage resistance, so actually a pretty good build in Baldur's Gate 3. And we can get a bonus action from the key restoration. So 3 turns of bonus action. That's more than enough in combat, I feel. It does require a long rest before use, but long rests are really easy. So there it is. That is a Barbarian Monk build guide from Baldur's Gate 3. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below, and I'll see you all in the next video.